Is the 10th Amendment meaningless?
No, not at all. And the 10th Amendment informs the progress we've made. If you'd gone to law school in 1975 and said, is the 10th Amendment meaningless? The vast majority of professors would have said yes, because it's stupid anyway, and states' rights is just for racists. And putting aside that, the guy who actually didn't have a political agenda, but was just telling you how things actually work, would have said, yeah, it's, you know, it serves as no, it's a nice sentiment, but it does no practical legal work. One of the important changes of what the Independence Institute and the whole pro-Constitution movement has accomplished over the past 30 years has been to change the public knowledge and public dialogue, and at the intellectual level and the professorial level as well, and both of those things influence judges. And the 10th Amendment and its near relative, the 11th Amendment, which protects states against being sued in federal court under certain circumstances, are now vigorously enforced. Maybe not, the 10th Amendment is, sorry, the 11th Amendment is quite powerful these days. The 10th Amendment is what informs a great deal of the majority's jurisprudence in favor of upholding our system of constitutional federalism. It's what goes, it's what lies behind the Prince versus United States, when the Supreme Court in, I believe, 96, maybe 97, says that Congress cannot order local law enforcement officials to carry out a federal background check on handgun buyers. There are a good number of cases which either apply the 10th Amendment directly or say that in light of the 10th Amendment, we have to read the commerce power more narrowly than we might if there weren't a 10th Amendment. So no, that the 10th Amendment is being enforced these days and is making a difference. Not as there's a long way to go back to the original meaning of what were the reserved powers of the states. But in terms of the sovereignty and independence of the states being important in constitutional law and enforced, yes. Look at the spending clause decision about the Medicaid mandate. That wasn't 5-4, that was 7-2. The 5 you'd expect, plus Justice Breyer, plus Justice Kagan. I can only tell you, Justice Breyer did not until last week have a very exemplary record on states' rights issues. But he went along on this one. Now we have 7 justices of the United States Supreme Court agreeing that the states are sovereign and independent. That's a tremendous amount, and enforcing something and while saying that, striking down a major federal spending program. We've come a very long way over the past 3 decades. And by the way, when they say sovereign and independent, they mean what they say. They don't mean sovereign and independent for all possible purposes. Colorado does not have the ability to enter into diplomatic relations with Cuba. The states have sovereignty in their spheres. The federal government has sovereignty in its sphere.